For the last 6 years, I thought I was building up confidence. Turns out I've just been keeping fucking tally on a scoreboard. And I actually think you're probably doing the same thing. Hello, and welcome back to Bitch You Can. I'm Amy, I'm your healing hype girl, and I'm here to remind you, bitch, you can. So this episode is a very real-time one because I literally came to this realisation a couple of nights ago, and it's rocked me. I'm not even kidding you, and it's made me realise, fuck, and I've been having so many conversations over the last 24 hours since having this revelation about this topic, and I actually think, whoa, we're all fucked. We're all fucked right now because we're all doing this. For the last week, maybe 10 days, I've been feeling really not myself. I don't remember the last time I felt mentally this not okay. I almost felt like how I did before I started my aesthetics business, like how I felt when I had my mental breakdown about 6-7 years ago. And it's been a really tricky thing to navigate because it's not like me. Like my old self was pushing through, and it was like glass half empty, negativity, a lot of anxiety, like not panic attacks, but there's just a constant sense of dread all the fucking time. And I couldn't put my finger on it. And then that was winding me up more because I was like, you're so self-aware normally. What's up with you? Like, you've done so much work on yourself. What the fuck's up with you? Why are you so aggy? Why are you feeling moody? Why are you feeling... Because I couldn't even blame it on Luke at all. Like, I felt so low, like, mentally so low. Even, like, Luke picked up on it. He's like, you seem really flat. Like, what's wrong? I was like, I don't know. And then that was more frustrating because I don't know what's up with me, right? And I'm sure we can all relate to that. But I pulled a card this morning. And I don't know, a couple of nights ago and then again this morning. And it's really interesting. It's like opened up my whole eyes to what the fuck has been going on. And this is why I want to talk about this on the podcast, because I truly believe so many of you will be maybe not feeling it yet, but you're aiding to this, and you will get to a point where you also feel this. Recently I've had a lot of change in this last year, like the last 6 months or so in 2026. I've had so much change going on, and I feel very disconnected. And I've spoken about this before slightly, but I just don't know where I fit. I've been feeling like I'm a spare part. I feel like I'm irrelevant in my life. And Luke, because I was saying this to Luke, he's like, where do you feel irrelevant? I was like, in my whole life, in everything. I just feel like what is my purpose? What do I want to do? Who am I? Like, we've got some really exciting things coming up within mine and Luke's business that we have together, but I don't feel the joy in these things, and I just, like, that's concerning for me because I'm obviously so energetic, and then once I get an idea, I'm running with it, and I've just been feeling so disconnected. So anyway, after pulling these cards, and then all of a sudden all this it's like I had a truth serum or something the other night. Like, stuff that I didn't even realise was spewing out my mouth. So let's tap into that. Might just make a light bulb go off in your head, because you'll be like, oh fuck, like, yeah, actually this is something I'm doing, and I'm hoping it's gonna prevent you, because I wish I'd thought about this over the last 6 years, but I hadn't. It hadn't even occurred in my brain because I was so like, yeah, I'm healing, I'm doing the work, great. Turns out I had to do a lot more. So I'm just hoping I can help somebody by listening to this. What I've come to realise is the reason why I feel so low, and the reason why I don't feel great, and haven't been feeling worthy, and I've been feeling quite, in a dark place without, and I guess I've trying to override it so that it doesn't, I've just been trying to override every day, and then without realising it, I've pushed it down, because I guess I was trying to address it, but I was getting frustrated because I didn't know what it was. And what I've come to realise is, for the last 6 years, I have been a slave to social media, in the nicest way. I've been performative on social media. No, I'm not saying my life was a lie. No, I'm not saying any of this was a lie. But what I have been doing is, I'll post something on socials, and the metrics that I would be looking at. So obviously if I post something and it had good likes, good shares, comments, the reach went well, you know, the views went up, blah, 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 blah. That, to me, is good, you know, and most people will say, yeah, that equals that you're doing well, and that is good, and like that, you know, that's a successful post for whatever reason. But what I didn't realise is in this whole healing journey over the last 6 years of building up my business and building up my confidence, I thought I was building up my confidence, but actually what I've realised is I was just kind of swapped. You know, before I would always be like, how useful I am determines my worth, and also, you know, I felt so low, and I almost have pivoted and swapped one negative for another. Does that make sense? Like, I've essentially used Instagram and metrics and social media without realizing, and this is the importance of this, I didn't realize any of this until now, until literally 2 days ago. I have been using that to judge my worth by. So obviously now I don't really post on social media as much, and you know, I'm trying to find my feet of where I slot into this whole new world and this new business and who I want to be and what I want to do. And I realised that's why I don't feel worthy. It's why I feel irrelevant. I even said to Luke, this sounds ridiculous, but it's like I feel like a washed up fucking old A-lister. Like, it sounds so big-headed, but I feel like, how do I know I'm worthy? How do I know all these things if I don't have my metrics there and I'm not posting? Like, and I've gone from an industry where, you know, I was doing well, I was at the top of my game, and like Instagram was flying, and now that's kind of silent. It's really fucking weird to describe. Like, all I can say is it's really fucked me up mentally. Like, think of it, over the last 6 years, Instagram's given me measurable evidence. So follows, likes, shares, comments, DMs, sales, bookings, community, etc., etc. Instagram's given me all of those, and that's been my measurable evidence. So what I've done is, as I'm building this up, I've stopped using the metrics to measure the business and my work, and I've used it somewhere. I cannot tell you where or what pinpoint this was, because again, all of this is subconscious, I didn't know. But somewhere along the line, I've used it to measure me, and that's the scariest bit. And I think this is why a lot of people really struggle with socials, because they're using it as a way to measure their worth. So, for example, like, I've taken that back seat from social media, and like, my things, you know, a lot of my content doesn't get what it used to get because the audience is different, and that's fine, that's expected. And to be fair, Instagram is dying a little bit of a death. Like, people's attention spans, like, we're literally fighting. We are fighting, when we post, we are fighting for somebody's 0.5, like a fifth of a fucking second, to grab their attention. And it's very performative. A lot of it's very fake. Like, obviously, since I knew there was the fake stuff when I was in the beauty industry, of course, because people, you know, edit their work and touch stuff up, and people edit, and, like, you know, you get people coming into clinic and be like, hey, I want to look like this, and they're showing you somebody who doesn't even look like that because they're using fucking editing apps. But now, coming over to this other side, I see it in a different light as well, of like, people are just showing you a millisecond of their whole fucking life, and we compare our normal to that, and it's so hard. Like, obviously, I know I've said about comparison, so I've got a fucking callus on my hand because I'm a weightlifter and I'm picking it. Sorry about that, it's just really getting on my nerves. So I'm not sitting here saying like, oh my god, don't use social media, because I know there's people out there that want to get into socials. I know there's people out there wanting to be influencers or want to do it for work, or they use Instagram more than they fucking speak to their family, or they use it for their business because, like, I get it, it's a tool, but I really think I never understood, I guess I didn't understand the severity of what it was doing to me mentally, emotionally, because, you know, I'm up here living my life. I'm in living at the fucking fast lane. It begins with, like, you post something and it doesn't go quite well. You know, it doesn't get many likes. And, you know, that isn't a reflection of you. Like, that is just, like I said, it's so fucking... We're literally having to compete, and the more people are on social media, the more their fucking brains are frying, and they have no attention. Like, who has a fucking attention span anymore? Do you know what I mean? Like, you Huns that listen to this are my fucking real ones, because you'll sit and listen to me go on for 40 minutes. But, you know, who's got the attention? Like, that's what we're competing with. Like, even if you don't have a business through socials and you just want to post, you know, like, as example, if you post a selfie and it gets lots of likes compared to not many likes, how you would judge that is the one that didn't get many likes, you would internalize that as, oh my God, I'm like, what's wrong with me? The one that did well, you think, okay, cool, oh, great, so-and-so liked it. You wouldn't necessarily be like, you wouldn't dive into the behind the scenes of it because it's all going well. But the moment you post something that doesn't do so well, or like your friends don't comment, you know, your friends don't pick up on it, your friends don't talk to you about it, because that's a whole nother entity, isn't it? Like, I guess when people just get fucking weird, and people, as you grow, people don't grow with you. But anyway, that's a different podcast. But essentially, it's like, for me, it was like, if I did a shit post, that means I'm a shit creator, shit businesswoman. Oh, I'm failing, then maybe I'm not enough. But equally, if I did a good post, it meant I'm a good creator, I'm a good businesswoman, I'm successful, I'm relevant, I'm wanted, I'm enough, I'm doing well. When really, social media is a load of fucking bullshit. Why should those fucking shitty numbers on a screen, why does this little fucking devil box why does that hold so much power over us? And that's the realization I've come to over the last couple of days, and that's why I'm so like, fuck. And then I've had, literally, this universe is fucking gnarly, mate, I'm telling you now, because since that revelation, I've seen 4 people just out and about. I've seen 4 people that have stopped me to talk to me that I probably haven't seen. Like, one of them I hadn't seen in about 15 years, one of them about 3 years, one of them about 6 months, and another one maybe like a year. And we had the same conversation. All of us had the same conversation in a slightly different way, different topic, but we said like it was the same thing. And and they gave me such a beautiful, all of them said, thank you so much for what you post. Like, you've helped me in so many ways. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, things that you post really help me. And I'm like, huh? And that was, like, I needed that. Like, the first one that said it to me, I actually got emotional. I was like, oh, you're going to make me cry, because I've been feeling so shit. But then it really made me think, wow, see? They've said, what you post, they don't like stuff, and, like, they're not commenting on it, but they see it. And that's another thing. People don't fucking, like, how many times are you scrolling? Do you sit there on TikTok or Instagram and you double tap everything you see that you like? No, you don't. You're a silent watcher, and that's what everyone is. But we measure ourselves to if people are noisy with their applause. We're measuring our worth on people's applause, and that's what I'm trying to get at. I know I fucking go on, but that's what I'm trying to get at, is that is such a crucial part of you as a human. Don't get me wrong, it's natural, isn't it? Like, we compare, of course we do. But such a fucking big part that I want you to really think about is who are you when no one's there clapping? That's what I want you to think about. Because, like, since I've stepped away from multiple things, you know, I've grown, I've evolved, I've changed, you know, I've stepped away from things that no longer serve me anymore. And whilst, like, I said that to Luke, like, because he was like, do you think maybe you regret stepping away from aesthetics and like the business coaching and, like, your event and stuff? And I said, no, because I didn't want that life. I wasn't happy. I didn't want that life. I don't regret that. But I'm really, like, by stepping into this newness where it's quieter and I am taking a step back. Like, I literally said to Luke, like, I've changed my name back on Instagram. Me and Luke still are fucking going on this journey to this, this business, and we've got fucking like so excited. I hate being that person, like, I got something exciting, I can't talk about it, but I literally can't, because it's literally we've been going back and forwards for a couple of months now. Oh my god, and I think it's finally happening. But I got really excited the first time, like 2 months ago. I got really excited, and then it kind of didn't really happen. But the universe doing her thing, and now it is happening, and I'm so fucking excited. I'm so excited. But that being said, it's just this newness of, wait, because it's quiet, because I feel much happier in day-to-day life, but then I was just feeling like I said, I was feeling so, I don't know who I am, I don't know where I sit, I don't know where I stand, I don't know, am I just a spare part, am I relevant? And it sounds so pretentious, and it sounds like really like I'm up my own arse, because I'm like, oh, my posts were doing good, and now I don't get as much, so I must be shit. But it's so interesting once you step back from something. I know how many of you have tried to step away from social media and then you're drawn back into it. It's terrifying how much power it fucking has over us, and we don't even realise. But a lot of us, like I was talking to one of the girls that I spoke to this week, and she was like, my confidence in the toilet. She said, I don't know what's happened. I'm continuously looking at people online. And I said, that's what's happened. And then someone else I spoke to said, it's so nice when I see you, because you're just fucking nuts. And I was like, yeah, cheers. I know. But she is like, because it's scary how much, how much I'm on social media, but how much I hate it. Like, you don't realise you're there just scrolling. You might be having a shite, or you might be going to bed, or first thing in the morning, and all you're doing is just scrolling, and you're ingesting and taking in so much. Like me, I didn't realise how much damage that was doing until I removed myself. And now I'm like, fuck. Because essentially what's happened is, for me, I all of a sudden have changed my path, taken a step back, doing different things. And I suddenly don't have 6 years worth of momentum reflecting back on me. And that's the realisation I come to the other night, is like, I'm comparing this beginning version of me to the peak version of myself that I don't even want to be. So it's such a mind fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping this lands, because I bet some of you are like, I've lost me, mate. Like, what are you talking about? Because I know, like, intellectually, big word for me, I know I don't want that life back. But it's hard to not look at that version of me. And again, this is because, without realising it, my worth is determined around those metrics, and if I'm valuable and if I'm worthy was based around those metrics, right? Which I didn't realise till now. Got that slap in the face. But that version of me, it's easy for me to sit here and go, she's doing better than what I am right now. But was she? Maybe on paper, on Instagram algorithm, yes. But actually the life I live now, more slow, more peace, more alignment, better health. I'm taking care of me first. I'm pouring into me, and I'm still able to help people, but I'm able to know when to pull back and push forward, rather than just constantly be in fight or flight all the time. So, depends how you look at it. Was she doing better than I am right now? Or was she just, posting good content? There's no metric for peace. There's no follower account for being present with your kids. There's no analytics page that tells you you're happy in your life. There is no amount of comments that will decipher whether you are worthy or not. And another thing is, like, obviously I'm stepping into like Luke's business and Luke's realm, which is fine, and like I love him and I'm so proud of him. Doesn't take away from that. But before, I'm fucking, my own fucking boss, and I'm a mentor, creator, aesthetics, businesswoman, all these fucking labels. So coming into Luke's business, I've come to learn, and Luke's always said this to me from the get-go, which is funny, I'm too driven to like disappear in the background, because like Luke said to me, he's like, you don't have to do this. He said, you don't have to. Like, he said, I can support us while you decide what you do want to. You don't have to be a part of this if you don't want to. He's a king. We love him. And I feel very blessed to be in that position. But I'm, like, I said to him, and I don't mean this no hate, guys, but my brain's too fucking wired and fucking ADHD and driven. I can't just disappear in the background, and I can't just be a housewife. It's just not me. It's just not me. And there's nothing wrong with being a housewife, but it's not me. I feel like I'm too laser focused and I need something to drive towards. Otherwise, like, my standards for myself drop and I start questioning my fucking worth. Like, what am I doing? And obviously that's something I'm going to learn and to try and tap into as I grow more. But I just essentially felt like a spare part at the minute, because I've gone from all these things to all of a sudden, like, who am I when I can't prove my worth to you? And that's like a hard hitting question. That's like how many people would admit to that? How many people admit to feeling like that, you know? And I guess right now I'm just trying to remind myself, like, I left my old version for a reason. So, you know, as easy as it is for me to be like, oh my gosh, like, she, like, looking at her on paper, wow, but I left her for a reason. I didn't want to live that life for a reason. And I, again, didn't realise how much I obviously was tied to the metrics. Like, I've been saying to people recently, like, because I've been dipping in and out of socials, and for the last, I don't know, week or so, I've completely just gone, I shouldn't have come off of it. I just need to come off of it. And obviously it's like anything when you're healing. At first it feels yuck, but it starts to get better, and I feel like I'm starting to feel better now. But I realised, like, it was a fucking slap in the face the other night when I thought, oh my god, I know what's happened. I know what's been happening. I basically swapped fucking one way to measure my worth with another, rather than actually just feeling worthy of myself. So I'm going to practice what I preach, because I thought I had it figured out. This is why I love fucking healing, right? I love this game of life, because it never ends and there's always something else to better yourself with. So now I'm trying to have a new approach to things. So rather than, you know, when I do, because I will, like, my Instagram, like I said, I've changed the name. It's going to be more of just like my journal and like me just posting shit that I want to post, because now I'm going to ask myself, instead of how many people viewed it, did I enjoy making it? And then another thing is, like, as I'm in this building phase and finding my new feet, if you like, I'm going to ask myself, like, am I enjoying the build, rather than am I as successful as I used to be? Like, again, it's that comparison to my old self of being like, you know, I was at the top of my fucking game, and I don't mean to sound like I fucking got a stick up my ass, but I'm up here. I'm essentially just gone straight down and started again. But obviously for a reason. There's a reason I did that. But that's what I'm trying to figure out now. Is like, I'm trying to reframe things and really getting open and honest and vulnerable with myself. And another big one is, like, I don't need people to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, that was a big thing I had to fight with when I was leaving the industry. Or so who were going, why are you doing that? It's such a waste. What, like, why you're going to regret it? Da, 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 da. I don't need people to understand why I'm doing something. I need to be like, am I me? Am I feeling more myself than what I used to? Because that's essentially why I left the industry, is because I didn't feel myself, and I didn't feel right, didn't feel aligned. So that's what I need to hone in on. Not does it make sense to anybody else, because fuck anyone else. This is my life. If it doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. Just focus on your life, and I'm going to focus on mine. You don't have to agree with what I do or why I do it. And I even put on a post, like, when I announced I was going over Luke, I said, who knows, even in 5 years I might become a fucking firefighter. I still stand by that. And you should stand by that too. Like, whatever you want to do in your life is up to you. Like, there's no limit on how, like, talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, I can't leave this industry because I've put so many years, much money, so much training into it. So I almost feel like I have to stay. I was like, there's no like lease on how long you're in there. You got to do what's right for you now. Your past version compared to your now version is different. And the biggest thing is, you need to have measurements in your life that are just for you, like, that no one else can see. Like, your peace, your energy, your integrity, your presence, your internal fucking North Star, your health, your joy, your self-trust, your relationship with you, how you see yourself every day. Those are the things that no one else can fucking measure because no one else can fucking see. And that's the shit that matters. Not how many people like your photo on Instagram. Not how many people have viewed it. Not if you go viral. Not if you have 10,000 followers. Because the day I thought I'd hit 10,000 followers, I thought I'd be really happy. I hit 10,000 followers last month. And I laughed. Went, ha! That would have really made me feel great. Now it doesn't. And that's where the shift started to happen. That's when I realised, fucking hell, I've been so performative. Like, don't get me wrong, I've still been real. But it's been performative underlying of all that shit. Right, Healing Girl homework. I want you to ask yourself, if no one could see my life, so no applause, no praise, no likes, no comments, no money, no shares, no followers, whatever. If no one could see your life, what would you still choose? What actively in your life would you still choose right now? And then follow that up with, what then am I using right now as proof I am worthy? What am I using, or what am I hiding behind? What is my metric? What metric am I using? Because it might not be social media. I feel like a lot of us it is, because I feel like a lot of us have been conditioned with social media, especially if you have a business, especially if you are on social media, like I say, more than you speak to your family. I think it is brainwashing us. I don't mean to sound like a tin hat wearer, but it is brainwashing us. And I realised that when I asked myself that question, and I'm still like working on that this week, I realised I wouldn't have anything to do with social media. I wouldn't have anything to do with it. So now I'm going to post what I want to post when I want to post it. So I ain't going to post all the time. You ain't going to see me all the time on there. And that feels good for me now. Whereas before I would be like, ugh, and I have to, like I was posting when I was in fucking labour with my child. She's hanging out of me and I'm posting a fucking post. And then I'm looking at how many likes it's got as I'm pushing a fucking child out my vag. Ugh. So I'm realising maybe I've not lost myself. Maybe I'm not a fucking spare part. I'm just meeting this next version of me who can feel valuable, can feel worthy without fucking performing, and she's just rewiring a scoreboard to not be external but internal, because I don't want this next version of me to look successful. I want this next version of me to feel like me, to feel mine, to feel the most authentic to me, give a fuck what anyone else thinks about it, and if it's likable and shareable and all that shit. I'm just doing it so that this next version is mine wholeheartedly. So remember, you are fucking worthy. You don't need any external validation. You need your internal validation, that internal voice to be so fucking loud that all that shit don't matter. Because you know why? Tell me. Bitch, you can. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I know it was a bit of a ramble at times, and I was trying a lot of it. It's because it's brand new. Because I haven't got all the ins and outs and all the answers to this shit, because it's literally brand new information for me. But I just felt like I come to this revelation. 4 people I've spoken to out and about randomly, and I think the universe is telling me that more people need to hear this. So thank you so much for listening. As always, I appreciate you. Please share this with somebody who needs to hear this message. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Love you, bye.